well. I don't think it's Texas's time yet. And I think it's pure desperation mode for Alabama, which sounds crazy. I don't think I've ever said that about them before they've lost a game. Just think about that for a second. When's the last time you saw Bama backed into a corner? When's the last time you saw them in wounded animal mode before they've lost a game? The answer is you haven't, because no one ever doubts them. Folks are doubting them. I got folks on my staff picking Texas straight up. I got people on my staff betting money they can't be affording to lose right now. And I'm absolutely going to collect if they're wrong. And that's not relegated to just my staff. A lot of folks out there think that Bama doesn't have a quarterback. Texas does. And it's Sark's time and it's Texas's time. I'm sky high on Texas. I just think Alabama's the better team and they're at home. And that's about the long and short of it. So I'm going to take Alabama to win.
7.5. I personally think that's too high. That's too high. When I turn on the film and I watched Bama play last week against Middle Tennessee, I see a team that was just so dominant up front that all they had to do was run the football. And then everyone's like, well, yeah, Milroe made a couple of nice throws. Yeah, he did. He made a couple of nice throws. But when you really look at that game from the first quarter, early second quarter, like when they're still like in the game and needing to establish dominance, they didn't have him throw much. And the throws that they were having him make were easy, simple throws. And frankly, he missed a couple of them. So I still have major questions about Jalen Milroe and his ability, in particular in a game in which like he's going to have to go make plays. Can he do that? Now, I trust his legs. Obviously, you know, he fumbled the one snap and runs for a touchdown. That's quite impressive. And the ability to threaten a defense with your legs is important, in particular when they've got such a stout running game, which they do. It's going to be tough for Texas. It's going to be very tough. But the game really is about Quinn Ewers. The game is about Quinn Ewers. Here's a guy that has all the talent in the world. In that game last year, he was the reason why Texas had come out and played so well and with so much energy to begin that game. Taking shots down the field, throwing it accurately on those shots. And Bama was reeling. They were reeling. If Ewers stays healthy in that game, it's probably a different story. But you know what? He didn't. He didn't stay healthy. Can he recreate that same magic? I'm not sure. And that's the question for me. His ability to throw the ball down the field that day, exquisite. Since, not great. In fact, if you look at his struggles, they seeped into this year. So they faced Rice last week. He goes 0 for 6 on 20-yard throws. It hasn't quite, like, I thought, like, after that game last year and then what he did against OU, I'm like, okay, like, here we go. Like, they're on their way. And they might be. But it just hasn't quite come all the way.
And the one way that I think Texas could come out and win this game is if we see that offense stall, where the deep shot's not there, or they're scoring deep shots, but then 3 drives in between, they're stalling. But I also think this is a much better Alabama defense than last year, both from who's running the show and personnel-wise. Give me Alabama 29, Texas 23.
I think the line on this game, as is usual, is probably pretty good. It's floating somewhere between 6.5 to 7.5, and that's about where I would peg this game for a pick, because I have to, and I feel like I shouldn't pick a push, which is what I honestly would like to do.
That's why I was sitting there saying 29-22, and I'm like, I cannot pick a push. I got to pick something, so I went 29-23.
I mean, that's where my mind's honestly at. I'm going to say 31-21 Alabama, but it's a guess.